Hi there, it's Thomas with Believe in the Run.
And this is Brandon with Believe in the Run.
And today we're talking about the Nike ZoomX
Streakfly.
This is a shoe I'm really excited about, and I'm glad we got it because I was really excited about it. I love everything that it's about. I want everything that's about it. So when this shoe came, I was geeked up, I was psyched. I have a foot injury and I'm still running in it.
Wow, you just said a lot of words that didn't really go anywhere. You just started that sentence and it just sort of...
You know, you have a good point, because what do we want to start off with? We want to ask you to do us a favor.
Oh, that's true. Yeah,
What do we want to do?
Subscribe to the channel, obviously.
Like this video. I know you haven't even seen it yet, but do us a favor. Like the video, subscribe, turn on the bell, share this with your
Ding
friends.
that little bell down there.
Tell your mom about this video. Be like, Ma, you got to see these two guys.
Yeah, follow the words that are like right here somewhere in this general area.
But now we'll get on with the show with the Nike ZoomX Streakfly. Can I give you a little bit of a history lesson?
History lesson away, Thomas.
All right. Join me, my young friend, as I talk to
ready.
you about the marathon of old. So back in the day, this was the shoe before the Vaporfly that was your marathon trainer.
Ah,
Feel that foam.
That feels like a modern day brick.
Yeah, they were hard, they were low to the ground, but this shoe is one of my favorite all-time marathon shoes. Still is. I have a soft spot for it. We saw Kipchoge running this in Berlin. We saw the insole flip out the back. They glued it in. It was awesome. But then along came the Vaporfly and totally ended the Streak line. So this was a Streak 6. I think they made a Streak 7 just for kicks, but it was basically just a minor update to this shoe. This shoe actually reminds me more of this shoe than anything else.
You know, it's funny because they kind of had the Streak 6 and then they had this LT version that they were doing as well on the track.
Well, the LT was their 5K, 10K
Exactly,
version.
so like that was their 5K, 10K, then they had that. And I think what they've done is taken a little bit of a lesson from the LT, the Streak 6, and then probably these higher stack cushion foams like the Vaporfly, and they sort of put together a shoe like this one.
And what I like about the shoe, before we get into what it's for, they wrote 5K, 10K on the side of this. I really think it has enough cushioning that you could do a half marathon to a full marathon of this with no problem. The price tag is phenomenal at 160 bucks. But if you look at the stack height, what are we talking here? 32.26?
Yeah, that's a pretty decent number of stack considering this was a lot lower, and what you're gonna actually see is the stack in the heel is the exact same as the stack in the toe.
All that extra cushioning. So what used to be enough cushioning for a marathon no longer is, because we've gone to the super shoes. But before we get into all that, and I'll compare it to some other shoes, why don't we go over like the anatomy of this shoe?
So the Streakfly actually has an engineered knit upper, and it feels pretty sock-like on the foot, even though the tongue isn't a booty constructor.
The tongue isn't a booty constructed tongue. It does have itself sewed into the sides here, so there's no problem with it moving around. Again, if we're gonna compare it to the old Streak, it's been updated with a little bit of padding in the tongue that does a nice job. You're gonna be familiar with that in some of the other shoes. But what is impressive about this knit upper is not only is it light, but it's super airy, super breathable. Like Alphafly and the Vaporfly, the collar looks a little sloppy against the ankle. It doesn't quite hug. It's got nice padding in the heel counter that keeps the heel locked in. I didn't have any problem with that. If I did, it's kind of weird lacing here where it's like on top of each other instead of like a little bit off to the side so that you can get that lockdown over the ankle. So I don't know that I would use the lockdown method in this. I didn't really need it in my runs because it really does fit nicely. If you're familiar with the way the Vaporfly fits or the Alphafly, it kind of feels like it's not gonna be locked down in the heel, but then once you get going and you're rolling, you don't even notice it.
Nope, I had no issues whatsoever. I went on a 12-mile run and then a few other runs in this shoe, and it's a really, really cushioned shoe if you're someone who's looking for like a soft, plush ride.
Let's talk about the ZoomX midsole, the shank, everything give them the news.
Let's talk about the ZoomX midsole, and it is very impressive. It has a lower stack than the Vaporfly and the Alphafly, but it still rolls really well underfoot.
So sandwiched into the ZoomX is a shank here in this middle area that kind of arches like this right there, which gives you a nice feel if you land midfoot like I do. I felt like you can feel that little bounce underneath the foot. I really like the way that you have a flexible front. You can see like this. Try to bend this sucker, bud.
It's super flexible compared to this guy. I can't
Yeah,
I don't want to break it.
Yeah, you break the plate. Where that plays into it, if you're running and you're going fast, the shank still provides, you can see the shank is keeping it steady through here. The shank still provides some stability and kind of cohesion in the midsole, but when you get up on your toes in this shoe, when you're doing faster pace runs, you're gonna get up on that toe and it really changes the dynamics of the shoe. So running comfortably, like when I was running in the 7s, it felt really nice and comfortable in the stride. The cushioning was just perfect. It's super light. This shoe weighs 6.45 ounces for a size 10.5. That's 183 grams. That's super light.
This isn't a shoe that I necessarily myself would use as a daily trainer. I can see how other people might want to use it as such. But really at the end of the day, at its core, this is a 5K, 10K racing flat that you're gonna wanna go really fast with.
That's what it's designed for. But when Brandon was talking about like, what would you use it for my running, I still, to be honest, I'm gonna throw on the Vaporfly or the Alphafly for a 5K or a 10K. So where's this shoe fit in? And for me, this has a great feel for those days where I wanna pick it up. So this is pretty much what I was hoping the Turbo would be. When the Turbo came out, they're like, oh, the Peg Turbo, it's got the ZoomX. I thought this was going to be that shoe that you could run fast in like the Vaporfly, but in a daily trainer. It was just like a lighter, better feeling Pegasus. This shoe is what I had hoped this would have been. This feels light and fast under the feet with this ZoomX. And like I said, with the 6.45 ounce for a size 10.5, this thing is lightning on your feet. It just feels so light and so much fun to run in.
Do you know what model of Nike this shoe kills?
No.
The Zoomfly 4. This, if you're deciding between this and a Zoomfly 4,
it's not even close.
It's not even close. This hands down is gonna be a considerably better option. What the Zoomfly 4 probably was, or what the Zoomfly probably was in the past, this at the end of the day, for around the exact same price, actually, you're gonna get just way more bang for your buck.
I don't know, did we mention the price there? It's 160 bucks.
It was $160,
Yeah.
so.
I would run a half marathon in this. I'd even run a full marathon in this if I needed to.
Right, well, we say we can run a half and a full in it, and that's cool, but I think we need to understand and evaluate that this is a shoe that you need to kind of put it in its own lane, and it's sort of creating a new area of running shoes that hasn't really been explored as of yet.
Well, normally we talk about people having 3 pairs of shoes. You have your daily trainer, your tempo day shoe,
And your race
and
day.
your race day shoe. This is a shoe that I would feel comfortable putting those miles in on and not worrying about if I was ruining it for race day, because then I'm gonna switch into my race day shoe. But if you are a runner that wants to know they're gonna be racing in this, rather than say like an Alphafly or Vaporfly, you could do it. And where I would say that this really adds value is if we're gonna put more miles into it, and if this foam doesn't die out over the miles, this could be used for somebody who wants to have a light, fun daily trainer. So some other shoes that kind of are in this category that you might want to take a look at. I really felt another shoe that I love is this Rebel V2. This has a similar feel to it, where it's that shoe that while you can use it for slower paces, you really want to pick it up and you just automatically find yourself running a little bit faster when you have the shoe on. The cushioning, as a matter of fact, isn't that different.
Well, the Rebel V2, actually, it has the same sponginess, right? And they both have this really spongy cushioned foam under the foot.
Yeah, these two shoes, I know we're doing a review of the Pace from New Balance, SE Pace, but to me, these really fall in line with each other, more so than the Pace will with a full carbon plate to Pace. Another shoe that I would say is in this genre would be the Adidas Takumi Sen 8, which we also really love. This is just starting to be the shoe that I find that I like putting miles in. I like these lightweight, fast shoes that maybe aren't what I would use for race day, but they're a lot of fun to run in. I heard there's rumors that maybe Turbo 3 is coming. I don't know if it is or isn't, but this shoe's gonna be hard to beat in that category.
You know, if Turbo 3 does come through, again, we gotta remember, Turbo 3 is gonna be that daily trainer. This is gonna be a little bit of a faster shoe, right? You're gonna have just a thinner upper for the Turbo. Hopefully, that's at least what's anticipated.
Any other things we need to cover?
No, I think that's about it, Thomas.
Make sure that you
Subscribe, like this video, hit the bell for notifications.
join our Strava group,
Watch and listen to the Drop.
podcast, and
Yeah.
check out Feel for the Soul with
For sure.
Megan Featherston on that podcast. Anything else we want him to do?
I mean, I was gonna say,
Just double tap all our Instagram stuff.
yeah, like just every single one, like until the first post, all the way down to the first post.
Yeah, all the way, the whole entire library.
Like we'll wait.
Yeah.
We're waiting.
All right, so that's it.
Just keep doing it.
Nike Streakfly.
Cool.
Look out for the fast kid out there. I'll just be doing that regular mileage in this. But yeah, fun shoe. You know what I give it?
You'd give it the what?
I give it the green light.
Bam! We got the green light.
Might have to do a little editing and tighten that up. But yeah, 2 thumbs up on this one.
All right.
This shoe's coming out. It'll already be out by the time you're in it. It'll probably be hard to get a hold of because I think these are gonna go fast. And
Yeah.
if you can grab it, grab it.
Green light. Red light. I'm giving it a red light.
Was that as good as the first one?
I'm giving it a red light.
All right. Do you think it was as good as the first one? The first review we did earlier today? My stroke's gonna happen.
Die.
Epileptic seizure.
It's a dance party.
Was that it?
Oh my god. Making it faster.
Was that
yeah,
as
I
good
think
as the
so.
first one?